guys, this is T-36. Today's video is the final reveal of this T-34 76 model 1941 number 112 factory from Cyber Hobby that I built up as originally the entry into TacticalJackalope's top speed modeling contest. Sadly I could not finish it on time. I entered it under the top speed theme of the highest production rate of any tank of World War II, which is true. But sadly I could not finish it, so I had to, well, then I also got disheartened by the fact that it had to, repaint it all, so I put it away for a while, but then I decided that I would just go for it, and I would just enjoy it. I wouldn't work on it to make it look realistic, I'd work on it to have fun. And, yeah, so now it's my tribute build to TacticalJackalope for all the awesome stuff he's done for us. All those great videos, helpful videos, encouragement to all the other members, and especially the modeling group on the Google Plus that he's made for all of us YouTube guys to post little photo updates on, kind of like little updates to each other between videos and stuff. Yep, so I'm just going to talk to him a bit about how I did it, weathering, thoughts, and yeah, so basically, I'll start from the beginning. So, when I first built the kit, I definitely had fun building it. There are some issues where I have to clean up some molded on points along the sides of here, whether you mount fuel tanks for 1940 versions or 1943 versions or anything like that. But the first thing that the thing that I did for the first time was use the photo etch tool clamps there rather than the molded on plastic ones. And I definitely think that looks good. It's definitely worth the effort. Same thing on the other side as well. There's a couple more of them along here. Just adds a little extra detail. I didn't go with the photo etch options for these little clamps there because they look good enough. Always go with the photo etch option for the screen there. T-34s from Dragon, but don't really go with that. It's good enough in plastic. Yep, so basically, really fun to build. Then when I first painted it, I used some AK colors for the first time. And I learned a lesson. I used from the German early war color set. I think I've got here. Here it is. This set here. Yeah, I used German colors on it. So I painted it with a mix of this police gray green thing, and then also the mid-war green in here. The olive green option 2, lighter one. So I've got a 50-50 mix of the police SS green and the option 2 olive green. And that gave me a nice kind of bluey green T-34 color. I've seen T-34s of this color before, not 4BO, it's kind of a slightly more blue color. Just thought that'd be fun to do, so I painted that color, and then I sealed it using a sealing product that I will not use ever again. And then when I finished painting it, sealed it, then I put a make wash over it, and then all the paint comes off. Like it flaked up and it kind of like bubbled up and everything like that. So yeah. So I peeled off all the paint using a knife and pliers. I would make a little incision and then grab with the pliers and peel it off. Like I'd cut out little pieces and rip them off like piece by piece. It was terrible. But after many days, all the paint was off. The reels, I didn't put the wash on them so they survived, though you can't even tell they were green anymore. You can still see areas where the effect is still there, mainly around, you can see the weird little kind of like spiderweb patterns right there. And on the other side of the turret as well, around the viewport there. But I'm just going to have to live with that. It's better than what it was before, also on the edge of that inside there. So, yeah, that was a disaster, and then the contest kind of ended, and I was like, not fun, leave it alone, build something else. And then I decided, well, I'll repaint it, reprime it, repaint it, and then using the same colors, and then I sealed it, again, using the same stuff, and then I decided not to use any AK or MIG, like weathering washes and stuff like that on it, because that was not going to end well. So I weathered it using oils, which I tested, the thinner I used with them did not react with the base color at all. So using only 4 colors of oils, white, beige, yellow, and brown, I went over and streaked the crap out of it. As you can see, very nice color, well, if I say so myself, a very nice color modulation there. Quite excessive, but you know, I said fun on it. You can see all the different streaks of the colors in there. I think it looks pretty cool. Definitely had fun doing it with oils. I kind of applied them in a I'd make like little dots or lines, and then I'd take a brush with thinner and just kind of streak down, and then that gave me a nice effect. Kind of wish I hadn't dragged them all down all the way, maybe at some end, kind of like halfway down the turret, just to add some more interest to it. Because now it's just kind of like vertical lines, but I still really like it. I don't dislike it at all. I just thought I might have added a little more interest, but I'm very happy with how it is already. Yeah, and then for the pigments here, you can see that I've got kind of 3 colors going. I've got a kind of very wet, fresh look down there. That's Mig Dark Mud with a bit of rust to red it up a bit. And then I mixed it with some thinner and then just kind of smeared it on with a brush. Also did mix in some sand and stuff in it, so you can see down there it got kind of textury. And then I went with a brown tone up there, which is just the dark mud. Most of it was just kind of brushed on with a brush, just as a pigment. And these are all big pigments, by the way. And then I also did thin some of it with the thinner and flicked it on with a toothbrush. If you want to see how I do that, watch my T-62 weathering video. I explained that pretty well there. So you kind of flick it on with a toothbrush, it's thin and it splatters all over the vehicle. So you can see I've got these little specks all over it. And then I dusted and also flicked on the dry mud pigment, which you can see is a very light dusty effect. So that kind of brings, and I also did layer them. I kind of went back and did more brown on top of the dust and then more dust on top of the brown and everything. That you get a very nice layered effect, and it adds some nice interest to the vehicle. Well, yeah. So basically the weathering is excessive, too much pigment, too much paint, too much fun, basically. These here, these tarps here, they are lead foil, which is, if you want to see, it's over here. It's this stuff here, it's just lead foil. I don't know what it is, my friend just gave it to me, but it's very useful. You just kind of fold it up. You can also use tissue paper soaked in like white glue that's thinned down. I used that once, turned out pretty well. This stuff looks better though, it's got a nice texture to it. Notice a bit thick, you can kind of see there. If you cut it, it looks kind of like that, but I still really like it. I also painted this one here just with the olive green option to contrast with the green, but still kind of go with it. And then the one up here, I painted it red, not like a very stark red, but it looks kind of stark here, but it's kind of orangey red just to contrast with it. And also kind of go with the chips that I have gotten on there, and also some of the some of the rust and stuff like that. And then I went over this one with some dust pigment. I did kind of do the as you paint a figure, you know, light colors and then mid colors and dark colors and the highlights and shadows of it you can kind of see over here. And then I dry brushed this one sort of with a rust pigment, and that one with a dry mud pigment, same one as I did on there, just to kind of add them give to them a used look and add some interest to them. On the chipping, on the subject of chipping, you can see I've got some chipping on the turret here, just random spots because I wanted to have fun, not realism. I think it's the best spot to show it here. You can see that I've got in the center of the chipping there's a red color, and then around the outside it's kind of like a faded gray color. That is the, I think it's Panzer Gray or some other gray color mixed up using the sponge chipping method. So I take a little piece of sponge, soak it with the, dip it in paint, and then dry brush or just brush most of it off, and then I just kind of tap it on so you get a nice kind of worn effect. And then in the middle of that I brush in some kind of red kind of primer rust color just to add some interest to it. You can see another place I've done it here. Yep, so very happy with that. I think it looks pretty cool. Any other spots I can show it, I'll try. Because yeah, I've done also a wash over the vehicle using the brown oil paint, just as a another just effect on there. Wish that seam would have a little more of a welded texture to it, but that's alright. You can see a little more chipping on there. The only real thing I'm not happy with, apart from the terrible effect that I've gotten some spots due to the repaint, the periscopes didn't go according to plan. As you can see, they're quite nasty. I just messed it up. The glue kind of went all over them, melted them, the paint kind of bubbled up because of it, and then I just kind of screwed it up. But luckily they're not really in view, and when you just look at the vehicle like this, you just barely see them under the shadow of the hatches, so It's fine by me. Headlight came up very well. Usually they end up all messy when I paint them and glue them on, but succeeded there. Any other thoughts about it? I kind of don't like the dark blob I've put under these vents there. I don't mind it, but sometimes I look at it and I'm like, why did I do that? Like, it looks pretty cool, it's interesting, but I just kind of think, why did I do that? Well, I guess I was just having fun. I did damage up the vent there just to add some interest to it. I just came at it with a knife, just stabbed it a bit. I'm not sure if it's to replicate bullet holes or just it falling apart because of Russia, but it just looks kind of cool. And then damage up the fenders and stuff. Yeah, overall, very happy with it. Really enjoyed it. Hope Andy appreciates it. He really likes T-34s along with his Panzer IIIs. I think I might be building a Panzer III soon. I've got a Dragon kit. So I really recommend this kit. I recommend also getting a good sealing coat of paint between AK paints and AK products, or MIG paints, MIG products. They all kind of use the same thinner. Usually I use Tamiya, so I didn't really know about that, but I learned my lesson and the vehicle survived and I'm happy with it, so in the end it's all good. So I hope you guys enjoy the vehicle, or the video, like the vehicle. Always appreciate the comments you place below. Hope it inspires you to build a kit like this, maybe give some ideas for weathering. Any questions about how I did any of the weathering, you can ask me in more detail. Yeah. I really recommend these Dragon T-34s if you are willing to scrape off the raised points there with a knife and then sand it smooth. Basically, and also the instructions are a bit terrible, but the magic tracks are great. The photo etch options, if you go with them, they always end up looking really nice. Yep, and also I will have a video explaining the weathering using the oils, how I did it, up soon, just on the rear plate of a T-34 here. I'm working on that right now, because oils are a really recommended medium from me for painting in oil or painting and weathering. They look really cool and they're so fun to use, and they're just a nice thing to work with. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video, hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching, guys.